Good morning, everybody. This is Zach with Southern Loon Retrievers, and this is Mallie, and this is Mallie's Life. Today, what we're going to be covering for our first session of the day, as you know, I like to do technique and methodology in the morning while the brains are fresh and the energy is high. And I like to do marking drills and kind of the more simple, if you want to call it that, drills and techniques in the afternoon session when it's hotter and they're a little more smoked energy-wise and mentality-wise. So what we're going to be doing this morning, we got enough light now. I'm happy to start. Mallie's been having a little bit more trouble as I'm watching her progress on the larger field, which is over that way, where we do a lot of our marking, where you see a lot of our doubles, and where Mallie's doing a lot of her senior drills. Sorry, I hear geese again. She's having trouble, which is normal for younger dogs of her age, where she doesn't want to take the cast correctly, or she's pre-casting, where she's out far and she's still having trouble with remembering where the bird fell on a mark, and she sits on the whistle, which is good, but she'll be convinced that the bird fell over here. And everything in her mind is like, man, the bird's over there, it's over there, it's over there. I know it. It's going a mile a minute, right? In her head. So much so that either, one, she'll precast before I even get my hand out, and she'll go that way. Or I'll give her a leftover, and she'll go wherever she wants. So what we want to do in reverse tee, or reverse double tee, which is what we're going to be covering this morning, is, well, I'm going to back up a little bit. Anytime a pup struggles and something like that, I want to take a step back in whatever that technique or method is, and we're going to take a step back and simplify it so that the pup can kind of understand what we're trying to teach. I thought they all died off. It's a little cooler this morning. What we're trying to teach so that they don't do it when we're out there. So we're going to try to take a step back in distance. As you can see, the bucket's a lot further up. We have the piles in the same spot. We're using all white bumpers for the most part. We got a couple orange out there. We're keeping the Doken birds in there. She's good on birds. But that's what we're trying to teach. We want to make sure that she's steady when she gets there. We want to calm her down. Mallie's a pup. She's a small pup, but she's a high drive, which is good. But she's one of those high motor pups. So, like I said, mile a minute. She's convinced that the bird's over there, but what we need to do when we're actually in the game and it's, it comes game time, is when we whistle sit her, we need to keep her there for maybe 10, 15, 20 seconds when training, just to calm her down, just to let her understand, like, okay, where the heck am I? All right, who's that guy? And why is he waving at me? So that's what we're going to teach today. We're pretty much just going to get her in the mentality of, okay, it's game time. Wow, why am I hyped up on Mountain Dew? And calm her down. And then we'll show the cast. So what we're going to teach today is that. Very slow casts. Very slow casts. Okay? We want her looking at us, squaring up, going back to basics. Very simple. So let's do that. We'll get our little blind manners in before we start. We'll go up to the line, and if we feel the need to move back, we will. I plan to stay up there for a good bit. I apologize if you can't really see me. I don't really want to drive on the grass just because this isn't my property, so I try to keep it very nice, but you guys will get the picture. So we'll go up there. It's going to be a very low pressure. I don't plan to use this at all. Very low pressure drill. So let's get to it. Go, girl. Back. And again, we just don't want her popping. That's all. We want her to maintain where she's at. She's doing well so far. But again, her looking around is okay. We just don't want her to move when she's looking. Good girl. So that was good. I'm hoping the yeah, let me just move this around. Stay. She kind of fixed herself there, but that was good. There we go. Good girl. No. Good girl. All reverse T really is just touch and go from pile to pile. But essentially it's the same thing with the bumper in the mouth. All you can see is I got one bumper here. You know, you may go through 3 bumpers total. I'm gonna let her sit here and watch these geese fly over. Mainly because I want to watch them. Aha! No ma'am! So, see how that worked? Little distractions like that. So for that, we're just going to keep her there longer. Stay. Good girl. Good stay. And half the time, guys, when you have to revert back to or just continue on with reverse T in the later stages of it, it's just the fact that pups get bored with it. They're just sitting there, you know, or they're just running the same drill with the same bumper. Because think about it, they've already done T, they've already done double T, they're already doing reverse T. So they're doing so much of this, they're just like, what the heck? All right, let's go. All right. Good girl, good girl. Good. So, we'll keep her there. And then we can send her on our leftmost pile. Good girl. Oh. Good girl, Mallie. Good girl. And again, everybody, distance is not so much what you should be looking for. Speed, distance, all that comes. It's not a race. I say it a million times because it's true. It's not a race. The biggest thing you got to remember is you got to check your ego at the door. And I say it a million times because so many people are afraid to backtrack. You know, they want to get their dog done fast. They want to get their pup, you know, at the highest level. Well, if your pup is struggling to get there and you're blowing all this money out of your wallet because your pup keeps failing, well, you got to take the time. You got to spend time on your pup. Good girl, Mallie, stay. I see you ready to go. So don't be afraid to backtrack. Good girl.
Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl.
You know, the biggest thing to know is know your dog. If you're running more than one, it may take a little longer. If you're running one, that's good. You can really understand the psychology of your dog. You can understand, you know, what are the little things about that pup? What makes them tick? You know, what makes them happy? What makes them mad? What really gets under their skin that you can really use to your advantage in training, good or bad. You know, that's what can really make a difference between a good and a bad trainer, is how you utilize that kind of trait. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl, Mallie. And always make the sessions upbeat, you know. As boring as reverse T can get in the later stages, you gotta make it fun. Good girl. So, you know, midway, maybe throw her a thumb bump. Good girl. Go get it. You know, but bring her back in afterwards. Come on, girl. Good job. We'll get one more. Good job. Let her know it's fun, even though it's boring. You? Good girl. Give it. All right. Let's get that back right. Back left. No, you suck it back right. That burns. Back.
See how she wants to go that back left. Obviously, because she's pointing that way. She knows, just from doing this so much, if she gets a whistle prior, she already knows there's a good chance she's not going to that back line. But yeah, see, she's already like me, I know where I'm going. But the key here is we want to do the opposite, and we want to make sure that we just keep her on her toes. But at the same time, we want to keep her grounded because she's freaked out. It's an ever-changing game, guys. Good girl.
So anyone who's followed me from the beginning, my first pup, Banjo, they know I used to do this to him every time we do sessions like this. Our last rep, I would stop him pretty much feet from me, sometimes literally right at my feet. And that would be the last rep, and then I would cast him all the way to the back pile. He used to hate it, but it made him awesome at handling. And that would always be how we close out the session. It made him miserable, but man, he was one of the best at handling I've ever seen. And we'll let her sit here for a little bit more, and then we'll cast it back. Stay, good girl, man, good girl. And what I say, guys, 3 whole bumpers. That's it. Good girl. You know, you can tell just by her demeanor. She was at she had that high motor going. But now we're just bringing her down. When she came here, if you rewind it, when she came here, she was just like, all right, let's go, baby, which is good. I want that. I want that launch. I love that drive, but I want that switch in a dog where they have that drive, but they're able to switch it off and be able to be smart. I want a high drive, but intelligent dog. That's what I want to build. Rick. That's another thing we need to work on with her is that was when she finally moved, that was the third time that I gave her a cast back. And I had to use a verbal cue with it. We need to get to the point where she does that unassisted. You know, she can't be looking at me and just not taking the command. You know, that can, man, I'm racking up the kills on these mosquitoes. She can't be at the point where stay. She can't be at the point where giving her a cast in any direction and she's kind of just blowing me off, whether she knows it or not. I don't think she intentionally, because if you look at her demeanor when I gave her any of those casts, she's got that innocent look. I don't think she has any intention to be blowing me off. I just don't think she fully comprehends, okay, what are you doing here? So we need to work on that. We just need to add in these sessions. So that's what we're going to continue to do. And I mean, the path is clear. We just need to do this over and over and over and over again. So let's bring her in. Good girl. And now the fun part. I get to go clean up all the piles. Good girl. All right. Good girl. That was pretty boring, huh? Give it. You're free. Good job. So guys, pretty straightforward, but you get the picture. So if you have any questions, let me know. Give it. And drop them in the comments or message me, and I'll do my best to help you out. And we will see you on the next one. Hey, girl, go fetch it up. Not that one, dingus, the other piles.